he left that corner shooter, and Pelfrey says, okay, you want to help? I'm going to make you pay. Position to get the job done, but they're going to need each other more on the offensive end and get away from the one-on-one offense, because it's just not going to happen. That defense is too good.
Well, that'll do it for the first half. At halftime, it is Nichols 27, Williamsville North 22, and you're watching boys high school basketball on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
When I stopped playing sports competitively, one of the hardest things to get over was that wonderful feeling in your stomach, those butterflies, when you're leaving the locker room and walking out onto the court. That feeling where you're about to compete. For me, being an attorney, and more specifically, being a trial attorney, that is a very similar feeling, that feeling deep down in your gut when you're about to walk into a courtroom and start your trial. I love to compete. I love that at the end of a competition, there's a winner and a loser. And I want to win for my client, who has one chance. That is what drives O'Brien and Ford. I have always aligned myself with the underdog, but I spent the first decade of my career on the defense side, working for the insurance companies in personal injury actions. But I found myself drawn to the plaintiff side, going up against the large insurance companies. What guides me is knowing that our clients have one and only chance to get compensation that is fair. How do we get there? We work harder than our opponent. The trial process is a grind, and what it reminds me of is going back to those days as a Division I athlete. You're practicing, you're in the weight room, you're watching video, you're preparing for the contest. And so there are similarities when you're trying a case where your client has one and only shot. It's no different than the championship game that you've spent weeks, months, your entire life preparing for. When you choose the twos, I promise you, no lawyer will work harder than we do.
Education has power. Binghamton University students discover it, apply it, unleash it. Unleash your education today.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication. We will get you back on your feet, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals, case managers.
At Richmond Vona, if you call us quickly after your accident, we'll help you get it filed for you. We have more team members. We have the best systems and processes, the best technology, and our team members are motivated and incentivized to move our clients' cases along as quickly as possible, but without sacrificing the amount of money we can get our clients. Because at the end of the day, we are not some settlement mill. We are not like some of these TV lawyers who just want to get you the first settlement offer and get you out the door so they can move on to the next. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
We're back at Damon University. It's halftime. And it is Nichols 27-22 over Will North. Trey Pauley with 10 points for Nichols and Cal Rogers with 7 for Will North. And Ryan Mountain, you solved a mystery for us as to who is wearing number 44 for Will North. And that is Brad Ebers, the cousin of Eric Ebers, great player at St. Joe's. So you're the coach. What's the message from each coach to each team?
Oh, well, for Grand Island, excuse me, I see the Vikings. All I remember is Grand Island. For Nichols, the Vikings, first things first, their defense is right where it needs to be. They've held their opponent to 22 points. I would just clean up the rebounding on the defensive end. Holt really focused and concentrating on taking away all the shots without fouling, which they've done a decent job with. But as soon as that shot goes up, block out, pursue, rip that rebound, and then outlet. Because their opponent, Williamsville North, is doing a phenomenal job of crashing the glass and getting second shot opportunities. And if on the other side of the floor, the Vikings are doing a phenomenal job with their offensive sets. They're really grinding it out. They're looking for easy baskets in transition, but Will North's taking that away for the most part, unless it's been a turnover. And then once they get down there, they're settling it down. They're executing on the offensive end very well. So nothing to clean up on the offensive end for the Vikings. As far as Williamsville North, I think Coach Lambert's going to really emphasize better offensive execution and helping one another out on the offensive end. You're going to have to work a little bit harder to get your teammates open. The ball's got to move a little bit more, only because Nichols is that good, not only man-for-man defense on the man that they're guarding, but off the ball as well. But with all that said, North's doing a great job of crashing the board, so they're doing a nice job of understanding that once that shot goes up, the possession isn't over yet.
So North...
Well, real quick, North has also turned the ball over, I'd have to say, 9 to 10 times, which has led to extra scoring for the Vikings.
So basically, North needs to communicate better offensively.
Well, communicate cerebrally, if you will. They got to move. It just can't be a lot of standing and thinking that the point guard's going to be able to beat players. They're going to have to move it. They're going to have to move him. They're going to have to get the point guard open because they don't have a lot of players that can just create their own shots. You know, the creating their own shot, that should take place late in the possession, not early against this team. But what they are doing well is crashing the boards, and that's why number 41 there, Cal Rogers, he came off the bench scoring the 7 big points. Those were offensive rebounds and putbacks. But I think the toughness has been there for North. The defense has been there for the most part. They just got to execute better offensively.
All right, we're going to take one quick break, and we'll be back with the start of the second half after this.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight.
And the second half is about to get underway. Once again, our referees, Corey Blumen, Dennis Hartnett, and Kelly Funderburk. It'll be North ball to start the second half. Chris Fagnan into the front court, being guarded by Jonah Thompson. Fagnan to Weissenberg on the near side.
1-3-1 zone here.
Back to Fagnan. And he'll play a little pitch and catch. Will Weissenberg back to his teammate Fagnan. Now they work it down low to Cal Rogers, whose shot's no good, but he gets his own rebound and scores. Very nicely done.
Red, okay, so Rogers is a starter. I did not notice that early in the game, or at least he's starting the second half. So he's up to 9 points for Will North.
Nice defensive play there, knocked away by the Spartans, hustling back after it. They'll get it, and now Masiello steals it right back for Nichols. So good defensive play by North, and the Vikings said, you know what, we can do that too, and they did, and here's Palfrey now for Nichols.
Yeah, wasted opportunity again there for North. They forced the turnover and then threw it right back to him.
Oh, stolen by North. We get a whistle and a foul.
And that's the right call. He threw that forearm out a little bit there. Great hustle there. I remember number 3 from last year as well, A.J. Weissenberg. He had a heck of a season on that team that went all the way to the Final Four in their class.
Be back to Palfrey. Early in the second half, Nichols a 3-point lead. Masiello holds. Now puts it on the floor to Palfrey. Boy, Palfrey is quick. He spins, and a nice play there by Gailey to block the pass. And North sends it up court to Fagnan, almost at upfield.
Yeah, Palfrey left his feet to pass.
And nice shot there for 2 by Evan Morphy. And it's a 1-point game with Nichols still in the lead.
And North capitalizes on that forced turnover there.
Palfrey now back the other way to Masiello. Palfrey, 3-pointer, good. He's got a great looking shot.
And Trey just redeemed himself. He knew that was a bad turnover, completely on him, and he made up for it.
4-point lead for Nichols.
That's a sign of a great player.
Long cross-court pass. Fagnan.
All right,
Morphy. Far side. There's Fagnan, went off his knee, but he regains control. He'll drive. Short jump shot off the iron, no good. Rogers gets the rebound, gets it back to Fagnan, and he'll put it on the floor. And a 3-pointer that's way off by Gailey, and Palfrey gets the rebound. Palfrey into the front court to Masiello. Masiello into the corner. Bennett, no good on the 3. North gets the rebound. Morphy into the front court. Dishes it off for Fagnan, banks it up and in. Nicely done by North. It's a 2-point game. Now Palfrey for Nichols.
That's one way to beat that 1-3-1 zone, is to score in transition before the zone sets up.
And Nichols gets it underneath to Drew Bennett. And knocked away again by North. Great defense by the Spartans. Pass ahead to Gailey, lays it up and in. North scoring on the fast break, and we're all tied at 30.
And more points off their defense. They picked up the defensive intensity. Coach Dylan Lambert had his squad in the locker room for almost the entire halftime. So he woke his squad up on the defensive end. Ooh.
Palfrey with a sweet drive along the baseline to make it 32-30.
And Trey says, quiet, coach, I'm going to take this baseline drive.
You get the impression he can quite easily, not easily, but he can take over a game would be my impression. Here's Gailey spinning. He lays it up and in. We're tied at 32. Great answer by Grayson Gailey.
Yeah, and he is showing that he can score once he puts that ball to the floor. And he settled down. He had better footwork, recovering from the traveling violations in the first half.
Palfrey. Masiello back to Palfrey. Thought about the 3. He'll take a short jump shot off the iron, no good. And Weissenberg comes down with the rebound. Weissenberg quickly into the front court, dishes it off in the corner. The 3 is good. Grayson Gailey drains another 3, and North takes the lead. 35-32.
Silky smooth looking shot there.
That's it. I think that's his third or fourth three of the night.
Oh yeah.
Maciello. Now to Jonah Thompson for three. Around and out. North had the rebound briefly. Went off a hand. And that'll be North ball. Great effort there. And we'll get some substitutions here. One for each squad.
Both coaches doing a really nice job of keeping everybody fresh, because that's the only way you're going to be able to play as hard as you can, Stu, is if you keep your players fresh.
So here's Fagnan in the backcourt. Palfrey guarding him. Fagnan into the front court. Pulls it out a little bit to Weissenberg.
Vikings back into their man-for-man defense.
Morphy now. Now here's Gailey. Drives toward the basket. His drive is cut off, and he's called for traveling.
Yep, and Gailey, a great player. He's going to have to work on his footwork in practice, because he's traveled at least 3 times. Right there, that situation, you want to try and land on 2 feet to reduce traveling violations, but also to have better stability and balance on the inside once you get in there into the paint area.
Palfrey. And we get a whistle.
Good call there. Now, Stu, real quick, I want to make a point here about Will North. Last year, we watched their varsity. That was our first game of the year at home, but their JV team was sensational. And I talked to Coach Lambert. He said the JV was very good, and the plan was to keep them together and also go young on the varsity. But he had a nice varsity team, and they had a great season, went all the way to the Final Four, as I mentioned. But I think you're seeing that the plan is coming to fruition, because this certainly is a Will North team that could contend for a sectional championship. No question about it.
Well, Maciello with the nice drive. Ball won't fall, but he does draw the foul. It's the 3rd foul on Evan Morphy. Maciello puts up the shot. It's good. Now it's a 2-point game.
And this last 2 minutes and 46 seconds of the third is crucial, because I got the feeling, Stu, it's going to be that one team that goes on that 7-8 point run.
Well, we'll see. And now it's a 1-point game, and North has the ball. Coming up on 2.5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. First of a triple header tonight on Western New York Athletics. Jamestown and St. Joe's follow. Here's Fagnan, stops, spins, and he's called for traveling. That's one of those unforced errors by one of the younger players. Unfortunate for North.
Yes, and he has to understand he's going to have to use his teammates and not try and do it all on his own. I think that Pelfrey's a great example of that. He's played an excellent game today. He hasn't tried to force anything. He hasn't tried to take the game over, as you mentioned. Everything he's getting is off using his teammates. You're seeing inside-out action, screening.
Ooh, stolen by Gailey, and away he goes. Puts it up and in. And North takes a 3-point lead. Pass to B-back. Now he gets it to Palfrey. Puts up a 3. Good! And just like that, we're tied at 37. So Trey Palfrey with a big night. North comes right back. Morphy for 3 off the back iron, no good, but he gets his own rebound. And he dishes it off beautifully to Sebastian Swiatek for the easy 2, and North takes a 2-point lead at 39-37.
And another offensive rebound for Williamsville North.
Well, it's all about the defense. Both teams are playing good defense and some transition offense here. It's like a couple of heavyweights, probing, looking, and then eventually throwing a punch. And in the end, we'll see who has the knockout blow.
Well, and it's also the details. For instance, going back to that turnover, it's going to be on Palfrey. He had came from the wing, and then he passed it up to the top of the key. But the offensive player is responsible for that last 3 feet of the pass, and that player sort of stood and waited and thought the ball was going to come to him like it's practice. And number 24, Gailey, he had a great, he shot the gap. Now, that might be okay in practice, but when you're playing a great defense such as North, you have to, as you're receiving the pass, you've got to meet the pass in that last 3 feet. And then, of course, Pelfrey turned it over. But what did he do on the next possession? Hit a contested 3-point shot again. He's a redeemer. One of the top players in Section 6, no question about it.
In Western New York, because he's a Monsignor Martin guy.
Sorry. Yep, good call.
Here's Palfrey up ahead into the front court. with the in. He'll get the ball back. Got it back from Fanani Alt. And here's on the far side, B-back drives, stops, banks it up and in. Nicely done. And we're all tied at 39.
Excellent possession for the Vikings coming out of that timeout. Everyone's on the same page. Great rip through, great read, and a strong finish. Back into the 1-3-1 zone here.
And here's Fagnan with a wide open three. Off the iron, no good. Tipped out. Battle for the ball. Weissenberg comes up with it. The three from the corner by Gailey is no good. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with North as we're in the final minute of the third quarter.
And another offensive rebound and second chance opportunity for North. If the Vikings are going to win this game, they've got to rebound better.
Fagnan drives toward the basket, puts it up, no good. And Palfrey had it underneath. He draws a foul. I think that's on Sebastian Swiatek. And it'll be Nichols' ball.
Yeah, nice play there by Palfrey. You know, obviously a shorter player than the North player, but as that North player was coming down with the rebound, he was coming up and punched that ball out. Just like a defensive back in football.
Palfrey into the front court.
All right, Nichols needs another really solid offense. Okay, they're going to call a little screen roll and replace.
But there's a foul called. That'll go against North.
And I would go back to that, not only because they fouled, but because the player in the corner was replacing for a wing three, and if that's a good shooter, because of North's defense, the way they're set up to you take away the middle, that'll be a wide open shot on the kickback.
Grayson Gailey. Well, let's see. They had it set up. We're getting free throws here. They decided that was a.
Well, it might be. No, it's only. Oh, it's 5 fouls.
5 against North.
Yep, 5 and 5. The new rule that went in last year that I'm still not used to. But no fouls on Nichols and 5 fouls on Will North. For those of you at home that are wondering.
And Palfrey misses the first free throw. You think it's bad now? Wait until March, when the things we're used to are all changed, as in the whole way the playoffs are all set up at Buff State.
Yeah.
Morphy comes back in for North. We're tied at 39. Palfrey can break the tie here. And he missed the free throw, but hustling after that rebound. Now it's tipped up in the air, and Nichols will get it. It'll be Andrew Beback with Gailey guarding him. And he will get it to Benning. There's Benning driving, dishing it off. It's knocked away. And Weissenberg comes away with the ball for Will North. Final 15 seconds of the third quarter.
Yeah, Benning would have been better off just taking that nice soft shot off the backboard. And his teammate could have got the offensive rebound on the opposite side.
Well, Weissenberg hesitated, then got called for a travel, and it's Nichols' ball. So with just under 9 seconds remaining, we'll see how this plays out. We've got a timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching boys high school basketball on Western New York Athletics.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYAthletics.com. You can link me later.
WNYAthletics. Your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Final 8.6 seconds of the third quarter, all tied at 39. Couldn't ask for anything more in a season opening game from either team.
I've been very impressed, Stu, and we got 8.6. Coach Matt Hartman called the timeout to set the play up. Let's see what he's got.
Palfrey, double team, gets around one man, gets around another one, goes to the basket, puts it up, and got the bucket, it counts, and the foul. Oh, that ball rolled around the cylinder and finally dropped through. There was a foul on the play. Nichols takes a 41-39 lead, and Palfrey will go to the free throw line.
Well, I tell you, Stu, whatever Coach Hartman had drawn up, excellent job by young Coach Dylan Lambert doubling the ball. Unfortunately, Palfrey's just that good that he beat the two defenders to the not only to the basket, then finishing through the contact with the left in dramatic fashion.
What a way to end the third quarter. The free throw is good, and it's 42-39 after 3. And you are watching boys high school basketball on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Explore your next idea. Blaze new trails. Imagine new ways to do things. What will you do next?
Well, now as we get set to start the fourth quarter, Trey Palfrey showing his skills with a great basket to end the third quarter. And Nichols now has a 42-39 lead.
And now they're going to get the opportunity, Stu, to score again, getting the ball to start the fourth.
They'll get it to Palfrey, and he will bring it into the front court. Bounce pass to Masiello. Masiello puts it on the floor, finds Palfrey cutting to the basket, lays it up and in, and draws the foul. Oh, a little backdoor action there, and it's 44-39.
Well, whatever Coach Hartman drew up, the previous play got taken away, but right there I can guarantee you that was all set up by Coach Hartman and taking advantage of the overplaying of the defender. Nice work.
And he completes the three-point play. Well, how about the that just looks like two teams. Oh, here comes some full court pressure by Nichols, and they get it in bounds. We got a very quick timeout taken by North. But that last play, Masiello to Palfrey, just great communication. Two guys who played together for a while, and they found the opening space, the space that was there.
Yes, and that space was created by Coach Hartman's offense. He cleared out that side. He came around like a fake dribble handoff, and the next player was coming up to replace, and that's going to open up that whole side of the court for the backdoor play. Well, and then the help defense was a little bit late.
Well, and of course that little bit of full court pressure, that kind of spurred him on.
Excellent point, Stu. That was also called, and you want that to change the game. And anytime you got a player on the basketball, 9 times out of 10, that's going to tell you there's going to be a trap. And there's a phenomenal trap in the corner. And it looked like possibly your friend from the gym called a timeout because coach or the referee there was saying, hey, the head coach has got to call that timeout.
But, I didn't see that. Yeah. Well, all of a sudden, Nichols now has a 6-point lead. This is, well, they opened the game with a 6-point lead on the back-to-back threes in what seems like an eternity ago. So North will have to claw back again here if they can.
Yeah, I love the pressure. You never want your opponent to feel any sort of comfortability, and that's exactly what they did. They took Will North, made him uncomfortable, and see how it goes.
And here comes the full court press, and Fagnan tries to get out of there, and he does. Looks like he draws the foul. So a smart play by Chris Fagnan.
It was, Stu, but the Nichols players, they got to come together first and then trap, and then that can't happen.
Well, they've got the full court pressure on again. Long inbound pass to Gailey, back to Weissenberg still has it to Fagnan. Thought about the long range three. Instead, he'll drive and dish it off to Cal Rogers. Shot won't go, loose ball, and Palfrey has it and quickly heads up the floor. Tries to go behind his back, lost the handle, ball loose on the floor. 3 players pile on, and the arrow says Williamsville North. Just great effort. A lot of bodies hitting the floor. That's what you want to see, that kind of effort.
Well, you could tell that's a non-negotiable in both of these programs. Okay, well, if you missed our halftime, we ran down and we figured out that number 44 is
Brad Ebers.
Brad Ebers. So we were correct in our assumption.
That doesn't happen all the time. Here's North with the ball into the front court. Evan Morphy on the far side. Stolen by Maciello. Maciello puts it on the floor, sends it to Palfrey. Palfrey, long pass on the far side for 3 off the iron, no good. Loose ball, and coming out of there with the ball is Nichols, and it's Maciello again.
But again, Will North got themselves in trouble by putting the ball to the floor, and that's really not their game as far as this game goes against this particular opponent. They got to move the ball and help each other out like that.
Nice pass, and Maciello can't get the layup to go. North comes back the other way. Maybe North should slow down and take a little bit of a breath. And this could help them here a little bit. Good passing there by North. Gailey to Morphy. And now
nice.
Putting up, and it won't go, but A.J. Weissenberg draws the foul.
Yeah, very good there, Stu, about settling down. They all got
thank you.
Well, they got their, first of all, they got their spacing. And second of all, the ball went to both sides of the floor. I think 3 different rotations. You got a dribble penetration to the elbow, which is a great spot to get the ball because it breaks down the defense. So that created the angle and the extra pass, and then a drive because the defender's running out at the corner offensive player. So, but they got to capitalize on the free throws. Watch Will North here on the offensive rebound.
Weissenberg missed the first free throw, so the lead remains 6. The second free throw is around and out. And coming down with the rebound is Jonah Thompson.
Nice board by Thompson.
So here's Palfrey now into the front court, in front of his team's bench to Maciello. And a 3-pointer from Thompson is good. Jonah Thompson. And now it's a 48-39 lead.
Well, Stu, I believe I said it's going to whoever we had a sense, right, that it was going to be that one team that goes on that 6 to 8 point run, and that has been the Vikings. Let's see if Will North can answer.
Andrew Beback is called for the foul there. Not a lot of fouls in this game. Been a physical game, but both teams have done a great job, and so have the officials. Gailey looks to inbound it, and it's knocked away from Rogers. It's a foul on Maciello, who can't believe that he's called for the foul, but he was indeed. So just as we say that, now there are 4 fouls on Nichols in the second half.
But
in the quarter.
But I agree with you. It's been good, clean defense. I think the officials have done an excellent job for first game of the season.
North looking to inbound it. They'll send it way back to Cal Rogers, and they'll get it to Fagnan. Fagnan. Gailey for 3. Good.
Huge shot. Huge.
Grayson Gailey makes it a 6-point game.
So far, it's fair to say that Gailey's been the player of the game for Will North.
Well, he certainly hit a whole number of key threes, including that one. Now Maciello. Palfrey thought about the 3. Fagnan cut him off, and he finds a teammate underneath who misses the layup, and North comes down with the rebound, and they almost throw it away again, and indeed they do. Great play there by Nichols coming back the other way. Justin Benning. Now they'll get it out to Benning again. He thought about the 3. Oh, nice bounce pass to Beback underneath. Great block underneath by North, and the Spartans get the ball. So that was a lot of action and no scoring. So some great defense.
Great defense, but a lot of one-handed catches, right, Stu? 2 hands to catch the basketball.
And stolen again, this time by Jonah Thompson for Nichols. And he'll get it to Maciello. 6-point game, 4th quarter. Palfrey for Nichols.
Big-time possession right here.
Stolen. North going to the basket. Morphy puts it up and in and draws the foul. Evan Morphy with a huge play there to make it 48-44. Wow.
Evan with another example of redeeming yourself. He had the turnover down on this end, hustles back, takes a breather and just reads, but kind of a lazy bounce pass there. You can't have that late in the game, especially when a team's down 6 points and they're playing with a little bit more desperation than conservative defense, if you will. So that 3 and then a possible 3-point play here, and we got ourselves an excellent finish.
The free throw is good, and it's 48-45. Fagnan and Palfrey, I think, have played the entire game. Neither has come out of the game, I don't think. Look at the battle between Masiello and Morphy. Three-pointer from the corner is good by Jonah Thompson, a big 3. It's a 6-point game.
And that was a jump shot, Stu, from college range. That was a beautiful jump shot.
Fagnan almost lost the ball, had it knocked away, gets it to Gailey, to Rogers, back to Gailey, far side to Morphy.
Dribble.
Yeah, almost double dribble, looked like. Oh, and he turned it over, and away goes Palfrey. And Palfrey will easily lay that one in, and it's 53-45. Good defense by Nichols.
Yeah, good defense and not good technique on the offensive end. You don't want that ball above your head on your back foot. Only bad things happen.
Now here's Morphy for North. To Fagnan. Puts up the 3. Off the front of the iron, no good. And oh, what a break for North as it rolls. Are they going to say it stayed inbounds? Well, that looked like North was going to get the ball back. And the officials will have a little conference here on the far side. I don't know how that could be anything but North ball, do you? It is North ball.
Well, he called the timeout because he was standing next to the coach. At the time, he thought the player had control, but the player then lost control of it and went out of bounds. So that's the correct call from the officials because I don't think he ever really had full control, at least from our angle.
Fair enough. At least in this league, they know what a catch is. And an easy banker. Nice play. Evan Morphy cuts it to 53-47. And we got a timeout on the floor. 3:19 to play. Nichols 53, North 47. You're watching boys high school basketball on Western New York Athletics.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Explore your next idea. Blaze new trails. Imagine new ways to do things. What will you do next?
(53-47). Nichols leading Will North with 3:19 to play in the fourth quarter. If you're just joining us, this is the first of a triple header. Jan Andrews and Ryan Mountain will have the second game, and that's St. Joe's and Jamestown. I'll be back for Amherst and Clarence with Ryan for tonight's third game on the Coaches versus Cancer night here at Damon University. Palfrey into the front court to Jonah Thompson. Now along on the far side. And here's Drew Bennett. Palfrey takes the jump shot off the iron. No good. Gets his own rebound. Won't go. And the ball goes out of bounds. It's off Nichols.
And I thought Nichols got away with a moving screen there, Stu, so they were fortunate. But North was also fortunate that Palfrey missed the 2 easy baskets.
I was just going to say they got a little good fortune there, too. Now North getting it into the front court. Here's Fagnan. Gets the ball back quickly after got it knocked out of his hands by Palfrey. Goes around Palfrey right to the basket. He draws the foul. Nice play by Chris Fagnan. Ball wouldn't fall, but he does draw the foul. Looks like it's on number 0, and that would be Andrew Beback. His second. So that'll put Fagnan at the line for 2, and that's the 6th foul on Nichols. First free throw, around and out.
And these are those time and score situations that you work on in practice. You're down 5 with 2.5 on the clock. What do we have to do on the offensive end? What does the defense have to do? At every possession, first and foremost, you must value every single possession. You don't want any lazy passes going back the other way, giving the opponent a weak or an easy 2 points.
Well, free throws are tough. Nothing free about them. Fagnan misses both, and it's Nichols' ball into the front court. On the far side, back to Masiello. He'll put up a 3. Good.
Did he step into that with confidence or what?
He did.
And a nice, efficient shot. Just a nice, long foul shot.
And the 3 from North is good. Evan Morphy answers. 56-50 as we come up on 2 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
What a game, Stu.
Yeah.
What a game.
No doubt. This is the season and opener.
Look at
A
this.
steal by Morphy. And Masiello is able to make sure that the ball stays with Nichols. Great hustle both ways. Oh, so close to a steal for North, and a little bit of a good bounce there for Nichols.
I tell you, both of these programs had this game circled for the last 2.5 weeks of practice through tryouts. This was what they were preparing for, and that's why you're seeing excellent basketball tonight. You don't always see that in the first game of the season, especially on a neutral court, on a court that you're not familiar with.
Palfrey. Bounce pass to Drew Bennett. Now on the far side to be back. There's Jonah Thompson. Massenberg guarding him. 7 seconds on the shot clock. And we got a whistle, and Nichols has turned it over. That's a tough time for a turnover, but some good defense played by North.
Thank you. Very good, Stu. You got to reward the defense every once in a while, but not a bad possession for the Vikings because A, they took off 32 seconds off the clock, but also they didn't turn it over. So now they get to get back. It's a dead ball turnover, not a live ball turnover is what I meant. So they can set their D.
Well, the question is, does North, Fagnan, 20 seconds on the shot clock, drives, puts up a shot, won't go, but he draws the foul. And he'll go to the line for 2. And the clock stops, which is big on the in these situations right now. I was just going to say at some point, if North has to decide if they want to keep playing for 2 or start shooting for a 3. And we'll see. A lot depends on what happens on these free throws.
Well, that particular possession there, you just have to get your best shot because there is enough time to still press, create turnovers, and 1:18 on the clock. That's a lot of time. So for that possession, you want to try and get your best shot. But to your point, I don't know how many timeouts will North. I was a little surprised they didn't take one to set something up.
And Fagnan has missed 4 straight free throws. A little bad luck on that last one. Went around and out instead of rolling through the cylinder. He's missed, and now I think he fouls Palfrey. And Fagnan's got to be a little frustrated that none of those 4 balls dropped for him.
Well, you mentioned he didn't come out of the game. And he's guarding one of the elite players in Western New York, so they've been working hard, those two.
He's had a great game, and they fouls him again. That must have been the strategy because that's the second straight time they've done that.
Yep. Now you are looking at that time, but going back to Fagnan, my point is maybe he's a little tired, and that's why he missed the 4 free throws.
Could be. Like I said, nothing easy about him.
Nope.
Nothing free about him. So Nichols will inbound. 1:08 to play. Nichols leading by 6. They'll get it to Palfrey, and he's fouled again. I'm not sure if that was Gailey or Fagnan.
Well, I'd like to see North go for the basketball on these. Just don't show the ref you're trying to foul. Make a play on the ball because they've done such a good job all game of being aggressive and physical and poking the ball out of there with some really, really impressive hustle plays and deflections, and now they're just sort of taking the fouls. Go for the ball. Go one hand on top of the other. You got yourself a jump ball situation. Of course, the arrow stays, but that could come back.
Well, they say that's the first foul on Gailey. At least that's what it says on the scoreboard. We'll see. There's a timeout on the floor right now. I don't think we're getting free. Well, I think we should be getting some free throws here, and we'll see who goes to the line. We are getting some free throws. No, one more. Okay, sorry.
Like even this right here. Don't make that easy.
They'll hand it to Palfrey.
And now they're going to play the possession. Interesting.
Palfrey Bagden guarding him, far side to Masiello. Masiello stops, spins, and he's called for a traveling. A tough time to take a turnover. Huge break for North, and the Spartans need to take advantage of it. And we'll see what kind of pressure Nichols puts on. We're going to get a timeout. Well, Ebers is set to come back into the game. He'll come in for Cal Rogers. And Nichols will put some pressure on in the backcourt. He'll get it to Fagnan with Palfrey guarding him.
Well, that sub, maybe Ebers is a good three-point shoot. No, there he is. Good finisher.
And Ebers had his shot went up, and I think Ebers is going to get called for the foul on Masiello. Two great names in Buffalo area basketball, Ebers and Masiello. And unfortunately for Masiello, or for Ebers rather, that ball didn't fall on the bank shot. Well, down here, it just didn't fall.
Yeah, and I thought he got fouled.
Yeah, well.
From this angle, he's looking at his arm.
Yeah. I do appreciate your opinion. Unfortunately for both you and me, the guys in the striped shirts, not so much.
And that's always fun coming off the bench after you haven't played in a while, and all of a sudden you're expected to catch a bullet pass and lay it in, and with two defenders flying at you as he goes to the bench for rebounding purposes here.
I know when you were coaching, you never once yelled at an official, did you?
Never yelled.
Yeah. Somehow, I'm not so sure I should believe that.
Well, I was an official before.
Oh,
coach, so
then maybe not.
So they knew
okay.
me.
Okay. As Masiello makes both free throws to give the Vikings an 8-point lead.
I think I got myself in trouble a couple times when they took it personally. Which, all right, here we go. Back to the game.
Well, let's see. Here's North with the ball. Massenberg into the front court. North has to get some shots off here. They're down by 8. Morphy. And the clock continues to tick. North can't get a shot. Gooley looked like he got away with a travel. And then it's Morphy. He'll put up a long-range three that's no good. Fagnan comes down with a big rebound, and he'll get it to Gailey for 3 off the iron. No good. Beback gets the rebound for Nichols. We get a whistle and a foul. And this one is just about over. I think North has run out of time, and we'll have more free throws for Nichols here. Nichols did a great job on the defensive end, not allowing North to get a shot off, but it seemed like North maybe had a shot or two, maybe. I'll credit the defense.
Yes, that was a defensive possession. I think North got a little out of sorts there. I don't know if Coach had a timeout. He's probably, if he does, he has got one. He's probably trying to save it. But you got to, hats off to both programs. I've said these games sometimes can be really ugly, glorified scrimmages, if you will, and they both came ready to play. Phenomenal job by Nichols finishing, and as far as Will North goes, really, really, really impressive basketball on both ends. And I thought it was, like I said, whoever was going to go on that 7-8 point run, and that's actually what happened. So.
Well, the basket at the end apparently does not count. Nichols wins this one. An outstanding game, well played by both teams, and it is Nichols a winner by a final score of 59-50. I want to thank our producer Heidi Gunther, our photographers Russ Battaglia and Mike Goodberry. I want to thank Ryan Mountain, and most of all, I want to thank you for watching. Chad Andrews will be up with game 2. That's Jamestown versus St. Joe's, and then I'll be back for game 3. That's Amherst and Clarence. And once again, the final score, Nichols 59, Will North 50. Have a good night, everybody.
1 second from half court. Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh!
Did he bring it in? He did.
It is. Call!